This is November the 12th. Just finished having this front plate. There's 3 plates together, sandwiched together, with the small little weld in the center, and that's it. These other sides were open. Water got in there, froze and forced the steel apart. This 1/4 inch steel was forced out 1/2 inch on both sides. So it was ground down, cleaned out, and pound down best we could. We got it down to about 1/8 inch gap, and then my son cap welded this, filler welded, and put a nice cap on it so no water can get back in there again. The brake tube. This is a tube where the brake comes out. We were able to cut it off. Nothing would fit in there. I had to use a sawzall with a 12-inch blade along the bimetal blade, and was able to cut through that because it was hard. I think those blades are Rockwell 60, and it was finally able to get through this steel. This is like a Schedule 80 piece of pipe that comes through the wall, and a brake plug comes out and locks into the gear, the drive gear. And that had been, they forced the drive gear, they forced this thing to move with the brake plug out, and it actually bent this sleeve. I got pictures of that, how bad that was bent. It was incredible that it could bend that without ruining this thing. But that's I'm having that piece made. Machinist Carl is making that like a big washer, a slice of pipe to go on there. We'll get that welded on, and then the brake, this brake plug in the back will be able to slide out of there properly. Before it was just, it would flop around out there. It would never, and as soon as that drive gear would turn, it would want to grab it and rip it. It was just terrible the way they did it. When you lift up the arm, when you pull the arm down, the operator pulls that arm down across his lap, it pulls this pulley and pulls the string and pulls the plug out of the front gear. Here's the one this one's taken apart. There's the gear, there's the tube. You can see the daylight on the other side. That's the tube where the brake plug goes through there. This was all wire, is ground down, wire brushed out, and needle gun. Cleaned this whole pan out, and 2 coats of hard equipment enamel paint in there. It looks great. It's dirty now from this last bit of cleaning the slag off this front face on the well, but other than that, everything's going well. Show you this side here. This left column has been completely sanded down and repainted, ready to go. The door has been ground down, primed, ready to be painted. This right column, ground down, primed, ready to be painted. the other side of the column. And this is the hydraulic valve nightmare that had to be pulled out because this side here lifts up the arms, and it was jammed. It was stuck. The springs in here had fallen into it and messed it up. It was just, it had to be completely rebuilt. That was about $600 just to rebuild this. I could have bought one on eBay, but then you're getting one that still needs to be rebuilt. So $5,000, you know, that would have been over $1,000. So at least I had mine. I knew it was in pretty decent shape. And they rebuilt that. These are the markings. These are the markings when you take these tubes off. You need to mark them, what order you take them off, so you could put them back on in the same order. Otherwise you'll never get them on right, because they're so close together that you can't get these back ones while these front ones are in place, no matter what kind of wrench you use. So you have to take the front ones off first, and then you work your way to the back, and you remove those and plug them so you don't get crap in them. And then the hardest one was this one way in the back here. It drops down. I don't know if you can see it or not. There. That wasn't fun to get on or off. It drops down. And then this big one here, this T, goes right to the pump in the back. Where is it? Okay, let me go the other way. There it is. This T's in here. This T's down here. That's from the main pump off the rear. These flex tubes up to the lift arm here, this ram, were bad. Both cracked. Got some new heavy duty Parker lines on there. That's the new ones. High wear value. They don't wear through. The valves were so, the tubes were so bad. I mean, yeah, tubes and the flex, the fittings were frozen together. Had to torch them to get them loose. So this is a new hydraulic tube into the L, into the ram. This had to be replaced. Just this tube is $60. Each of these lines, $50 a piece. This one wasn't the one for the top. The return wasn't so bad. So I'm leaving that on for now. But at least I know that these two aren't going to burst on me. I've got to do the same thing on the other side, and I've got the new lower tube. For some reason on the other side, that the same tube but a different shape was $110 just for this lower tube. So I got to do that, and the two lines over there. Then I'm safe, knowing that this thing will lift up without any line bursting and it's falling and killing someone. I sure don't want that. So that's the state of the progress so far. This is the only remaining axle. We haven't cleaned up the front of this yet. I'm not going to pull these two axles off until I get the rest of it back together. I want to get the other side back together and finish up make sure the hydraulics are working properly and there's no leaks. And then this is the front end that we did today. Brian welded a nice closing bead and a cap bead on this front plate. That front plate is 1.5 inches thick with the combined 3 plates. This here, this is 1.5 inches solid steel. This is a good 1840 because it came with the hydraulics for an auxiliary. So this goes to the foot pedal, turns the valve on and off. And these are the lines for the auxiliary. They come to the valve, then they go back. They come to the valve and go all the way back and all the way up the rams to the side of the arm. There they are. There's the two quick disconnects for the auxiliary. And those look horrible. I probably couldn't even get them open. So I'm going to end up replacing those. Hopefully the tubes that go back down to the inside aren't too bad. I'll find out. That's it for today.